sectional game as we drew a heavy draw in St. Joe. So we got to make it happen right now, Tony. Excuse me, Scott.
All right, Luke Lattimore now to tip it off against Nick Neidlinger. And the tip goes to the Plymouth Pilgrims. Renz to Neidlinger, over to Hodges. Hodges now back to Neidlinger.
See what kind of defense St. Joe wants to play here.
Hodges now at the top. Drives, looking for Randy. Switches directions now over to Neidlinger. Out to Ryan Welch. Over to Randy for three. Oh, no good. Rebound, Maschalari for St. Joe.
All the way down, back out.
Johnson quickly up court now for the Indians. They're looking to work it down low to Lattimore. Lattimore to Maschalari. Maschalari hard in for two. He worked real hard on Ryan Welch that time and got her down for the bucket. Neidlinger now looks over to Hodges. Hodges up top.
Pretty much a straight man-to-man right now. We thought maybe they would come out with a box and one or a diamond and two, but they're playing straight man-to-man.
Randy in the left corner. Now to Renz. Over to Nick. Nick down low off of Hodges. I think Hodges turned his head that time. Went off his backside. Out of bounds. St. Joe ball.
Turnover, Plymouth, first turnover of the game. St. Joe with a 2-0 lead and with the ball.
Johnson now to work against Hodges. We'll have to keep an eye on this one all night long. Both these guys are real quick, although Johnson with a nice crossover into the corner now. They look down low. Lattimore up and no, out of rebound Hodges. Hodges now looks to push for the Pilgrims. Hodges looks over to Randy. Randy top of the key. Looking. Over to Renz now. Renz. Back to Randy. Randy over to Welch. Back to Neidlinger for a long three. That one's off. Rebounded by Johnson and looking to get across the court quick. They do.
Travel.
That's going to be a travel. Richter never established his pivot foot.
Yep. So he's asking the ref, what did I do wrong? He just didn't get her established. Plymouth will have the ball 0 for 2 from three-point land right now. Both three-point shots, one by Nick and one by Randy.
One by Nick was an awful long one there.
That's right.
Hodges now across to Renz. Renz back to Hodges. Hodges looking over to Welch now. Back to Nick. Nick looks for Randy. He gets it. Randy fakes a long three. Hodges now. He's got the ball on the right-hand side. I think Plymouth looks a little confused, Larry, what they're running here.
Yeah, they're trying to run a set, but they couldn't get it to run.
Neidlinger works down low, finds Randy for three from the corner. That one rims in, and holy cow, it hit about 5 parts of the rim and goes in for three.
That's what you call a shooter. Three-point shot to hit the rim 3 times and down. It's 3-2 Plymouth. Johnson
working against Hodges now off a pick. Switch to Neidlinger on Johnson now. Lattimore looking for Maschalari. They're not going to get him the ball. Drive by Richter, and should have been, looked like a charge, but it was called a block on
Jeremy
Renz.
Yep. Yeah, Jeremy picks up his first, team's first.
Thought he got there and got set, but maybe he moved just a little bit.
He was hoping to get the charge.
Although I think Coach Scott might agree with both of us. That's what it looks like. Friends it now back to Maschalari, a reverse layup. That one doesn't go. Rebound, Austin Hodges. Hodges now with Plymouth on the break. He pulls it back out to Randy. Randy eyes the three, drives in, loses the ball from behind, and we're going the other way with St. Joe. Johnson now in the front court as he works against Randy. That's a nice matchup. Randy playing good defense there. Welsh across to Lattimore there. Sorry, Franzik. Down to Maschalari. Boy, you're right, Larry. He is a bull in a china shop down there.
I think he's going to pick up that first foul.
I think you're right. But, man, when you said he went hard to the hole every time, you weren't lying. Holy smokes. He lowers his shoulder, and he goes in hard.
Ryan's going to have to flop on one of those. He's going to have to pick which one to flop on and just take the hard hit.
Well, you got him with one now, so now you're right. You got to flop and see if you can get a second. Plymouth on offense now with Randy Davis on the right-hand side, looking for Nick. Nick gets free over to Renz. Now to Welch. Welch to Austin Hodges as they go a backdoor pass. Caught by Randy, but nothing there. They're going to have to, someone's got to go to the ball and help, and Randy's able to find Hodges, and Hodges does not go over and back. Hodges working against Johnson. Over to Nick Neidlinger now. Welsh out top of the key, swings one to Randy for three. That one's off. Nobody goes for the rebound. Randy gets in the rebound. Goes up for a layup. Puts it in. Second chance bucket there on the layup for Randy.
5-2 Plymouth.
Johnson now. I couldn't believe no one went for the rebound for St. Joe. Holy smokes. Johnson as he looks for, could have got that ball. Frenzik works against Neidlinger. Over to Lattimore. They're looking to get it into Mashalari again. Johnson working against Hodges. Over to Frenzik. Stolen away by Hodges. He looks. Here comes Plymouth on the offense. Down to Nick Neidlinger, who gets fouled, and that's going to be on the floor.
Wow.
On the floor. Foul there on...
Nick got fouled before he went up, so it's going to be out of bounds Plymouth.
Luke Lattimore on the foul that time for South Bend St. Joe. Underneath the basket we go. Renz will take the ball out of bounds. Got to get some movement here. Let's get to call a timeout. That gets one out to Hodges, and we're all right. Hodges over to Nick. Nick now back to Renz. Renz looking for Randy. Randy on the left-hand side out high. Over to Hodges. Hodges now looks over to Nick now in the left-hand corner. He dribbles it out. Headed to the top of the key now.
Plymouth taking their time on offense.
I think St. Joe went to a zone.
Looks like a zone here now.
Hodges now looks for Randy. Now he heads to Nick. Nick back to Austin. Over to Randy now. Backdoor pass to Nick Neidlinger for two.
Beautiful pass, and Neidlinger finishes.
Great pass, great catch.
7-2 Plymouth.
And here comes Johnson across court for the Indians. Johnson looks to take Hodges down low to Lattimore. He puts it in and gets the foul.
Yeah, Lattimore found himself wide open as Nick got and lost him in the transition. And then Nick picks up the foul.
I think someone stepped up to help Austin there on the drive, and that's when they lost their man there.
And that's obviously the kind of havoc that Marcus Johnson can do to our defense is when he penetrates.
You said quick and fast. I don't even know if there's even a superlative to say how fast he is.
Right. Free throws for
Lattimore. 7-5 now, Plymouth. 2:32 to go here in the first quarter. Hodges now looks over to Welsh, up to Renz, over to Nick. Nick finds Hodges at the top of the key. Hodges looking over to Randy. Randy, guarded by Ryan Richter. Richter a little bit taller than Randy. Over to Nick. Now back up to Ryan, back to Randy. Randy looks, drives, kicks it out to Hodges. Hodges wide open, doesn't... There, it's back to him. He shoots a three, and he hits it.
Austin Hodges, they let him wide open. And he makes him pay.
Thought about it, gave it away, got it back, and knocked down the three. Johnson now for South Bend St. Joe. Mashalari wants the ball. Good steal by Renz. Over to Randy now. Randy looking down floor. You gotta always like how he's got his head so far up where he can see anything on the floor. Randy now. Fake, he's in the corner. Drives baseline. Finds Hodges. Hodges up to Nick. Nick back to Randy. Randy for three. He got it.
Randy Davis' second three. It's 13-5. St. Joe with a timeout.
South Bend St. Joe takes a timeout. 13-5 here in the first quarter. Plymouth on top of South Bend St. Joe. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here on the new Chief 50 WTCA.
Randy Davis with 8 points. Austin Hodges 3. Nick Neidlinger 2 for our points. Luke Lattimore has 3, and Marcus Marcello has 2 for St. Joe for their 5 points. That's going to be a 5-second count. Nope.
Jacob Walters into the contest now for South Bend St. Joe. Lattimore drives baseline, doesn't hit it. Rebound, Randy Davis. Davis now across the court for Plymouth. Over to Nick. Nick over to Sam Falstich. Just entered the game. Over to Austin. Austin drives. No one picks him up. He's in, and he scores!
Austin Hodges.
And a foul.
Wow.
I believe it's going to be on number 40, Larry, Robert McClintock.
Well, basically, they've scouted us, and they think that Austin's not going to shoot. So if he can get to the bucket, he's going to shoot. 15-5, Plymouth up, and Austin at the line.
That's what it was. He drove, like you said, it was like the Red Sea parting.
Yep.
Got there and a foul on McClintock, who was also entered the game for St. Joe.
Everybody thought they were going to kick it out to Randy or Nick in the corner, and he just took the middle and went all the way.
Hodges good on the free throw, 16-5 Plymouth.
6 points for Austin Hodges.
Johnson with 44 seconds now in the first quarter works against Hodges. Johnson looks, a nice baseline pass to Lattimore. Nick got him up for the foul. It was a good pass by Johnson there. He was a wide open, streaking wide open to the basket was Lattimore.
And Nick, I think, picks up his second.
Luke Lattimore now heads to the line for St. Joe. He'll shoot two. Luke up with that, and no good. We talked so many times, Larry, about how important free throws are, and especially now that you're hitting at this time of year, you got to hit those shots when the clock isn't moving.
Caleb Adden in for Nick, as Nick picked up his second foul there.
And the second one by Lattimore is good, 16-6. Plymouth, 35 seconds to go here in the quarter. Up to Hodges, over to Randy, now Randy up top, here comes Hodges up top.
Going to go for one shot here, I think. St. Joe's going to set back in that zone and let us run the clock down. 16-6 lead.
They do not want to leave Caleb Haddon open like they're doing right now. But Caleb gets a shot. He will take it from three. Caleb Johnson now steals the ball from Caleb. Johnson in for the layup for two with 6 seconds to go. Randy eyes the clock as he crosses half court. Randy drives in, shoots, and no good as the first quarter is over. 16-8, the Plymouth Pilgrims lead the South Bend St. Joe Indians. You're listening to sectional action here on the new Chief AM W. Plymouth leads. Brendan Elliott in the game, Larry.
Brendan Elliott in the game now for Caleb. And nice to see him back out there. That's thrown away, I think. Nope, we tipped it. It'll be St. Joe ball. Brandon Elliott making his presence known right away.
Now, he's not wearing that bulky cast anymore. He's wearing a...
Franzik comes in now for St. Joe.
For a better word, he's got one of those sleeves on his arm. Johnson now works against Hodges. Johnson around the pick, finds Macellari, and Brendan Elliott's going to get called for the foul on that one.
Yep.
Brendan got up on Macellari's back there as he was receiving the pass. Ball back in play now.
Tried to go into Marcellus down low, couldn't get him.
Richter now drives, and that's going to be an offensive foul by Brandon Elliott.
Steps right up, takes the charge.
So in just a few seconds of playing time here, he knocks the ball out of bounds and gets an offensive foul.
Yes. Brandon Elliott gets a charge and comes, and Caleb comes back in.
Austin Hodges now brings the ball over for the Pilgrims.
Each team with 4 fouls, 14 fouls.
Haddon now looks over to Hodges. Hodges in the corner. He dribbles out top. Back to Haddon now. Haddon looks back door to Randy, although there's some trees in there. You don't think you want to throw that one. Over to Johnson. He streaks one out for a layup. That was easy.
That was Johnson. Turnover basket. That's what St. Joe likes to do. It is 16-10.
Randy now on the left-hand side, top of the key, around the three-point line. Over to Haddon. Haddon back to Randy. Randy drives, looks.
Another turnover.
Turnover by
Hodges. Turnover.
Steals it right back to Haddon for three. No good. Rebounded by McClintock for St. Joe. McClintock to Johnson now. Johnson's got Richter on the left-hand side. Chooses not to go there. Johnson will pull up for three. No good. Rebound on the back, but no call as McClintock. The ball is free, and it says it's kicked off a Pilgrim player headed back towards South Bend St. Joe. Blaine Schaefer now into the game for the Pilgrims to
give Ryan a breather.
Give Ryan a breather and bang around Marcus a little bit.
That's right.
Now Blaine did roll his ankle a few days ago, but he's all taped up and fine. Talked to the trainer before the game.
That's turnover St. Joe.
Good defense by the Pilgrims.
Each team had 3 turnovers in that first quarter, and now St. Joe with their 4th. And a basket here would look pretty sweet as it's 16-10. Plymouth on top.
Hodges gets the call from Coach Scott now. Over to Haddon it goes. Back to Austin. Over to Randy. Randy pinched in the corner, now to Blaine. Blaine over to Austin. Over to Randy, now to Blaine. Back to Randy because we're playing a little game of catch. Austin now to Haddon from the corner for three. No, that one missed everything.
We needed Caleb to hit, but
rebound by Richter. Richter now works against Haddon. Richter drives the lane. Passes out to McClintock. Now over to Johnson, who has Blaine Schaefer on him. Down low to McClintock, working on Austin for a bucket. Austin Hodges now, 16-12, Plymouth on top here in the second quarter. Randy looks at Sam, holds, goes up for Kayla up top. Over to Randy now for three. No bucket there. Fought for between Schaefer and McClintock. Richter, and that's going to go South Bend St. Joe way. Ryan Welsh back in the game for the Pilgrims.
So is Nick Nylinger, so Nick's got two, he's got to be careful, but St. Joe making a run at us now, 16-12 as Randy's missed one and Caleb missed two.
And Marcus hasn't made much of a presence felt now after the little bit of the first quarter that he did. Looks like he even might be a little winded, Larry. And McClintock drives in, no good. Rebound, Randy Davis. Davis now pushes hard over to Nick. Nick looks over to Ryan Welsh, back to Randy as they slow it down now. Randy looking, tries to go inside to Welsh, but stolen by Marshallari. He finds Ryan Richter, and Richter brings the ball up for St. Joe. Richter working against Neidlinger. Over to Franzik. Back to Richter. Richter to Marshallari. Marshallari working against Randy. Goes down low, spin, shoots. No good. Rebound, Nick Neidlinger. Neidlinger now looks up court. He'll hand to Austin and start the offense. Austin looks for Randy. Over a screen, Randy down low to Sam. Sam back out to Austin. You hear the coaches calling for movement from the offense. Randy looks, drives, finds Austin. Austin holds up, looks again. Austin needs some help now, got to go to the ball. Over to Nick Neidlinger in the corner for three. That gets blocked by Marshallari. Picked up by Sam Faustich, back to Randy. Randy now surveys the court. Over to Ryan Welsh. Back to Nick for three out of the corner. No good. Nick gets his own rebound. Back to Randy. Over to Hodges. And a kick
for the ball
by Ryan Richter.
Yeah, we just need Nick to drop a few of those. Just still a little stiff on his three-point shot.
I like the way, though, how he both times went right back to the ball when he got blocked and then when he missed it. Randy now.
Running a set play.
Austin to Nick. Nick to Austin. Austin back to Randy. Randy now looking for Welsh over to Austin. Into Welsh. Welsh, corner, Neidlinger. Fakes, no. One dribble. And he's going to be fouled, and I think they're going to call that on 33, Larry, Luke Lattimore.
Lattimore picks up his second.
Going to be ball out of bounds now for Plymouth, as Sam Faustich will take the ball out of bounds. Sam looking now. Finds Randy as it goes all the way down to the other basket.
It's a safe way to do it.
Yeah, it is.
Now they're back in their zone, St. Joe. How are we going to attack this?
Austin now out top, bothered by Johnson. Austin to Sam. Sam looks, back to Austin, back to Randy. Randy, again bothered by Johnson. In the middle to Sam. Sam down low to Welsh, and it's going to be a foul called again on number 33.
Lattimore picks up his third. Sam with a nice pass to Welch, and Lattimore picks up three. He's out of there, and Robert McClintock will come in.
I like him getting the position in there, Larry, to get that ball. Sam looks now again, and he gets it into Hodges. Hodges in the trees, out to Nick for three. No good. Rebound fought for and brought down to Johnson. Now Johnson on a transition into Nick, and that's going to be a basket and a foul on Nick Neidlinger.
Yeah, Nick picks up his third.
Well, I don't know. It could have gone either way, I think.
Could have gone either way, but it didn't. Yeah,
the basket was good by Johnson, and he'll go to the line for a three-point play. 16-14 now. Plymouth still on top here with 2:57 to go in the second quarter.
And we need somebody to be able to score here. Plymouth stuck on 16 for a long time as Nick's missed a couple threes.
And that free throw is up and good. So 16-15 now. Plymouth on top. Hodges now looks for Randy. Randy back to Hodges, and wow, a steal by Johnson. I thought he hit Hodges' head, but I guess not. That bucket makes it 17-16, St. Joe.
St. Joe takes their first lead. Again, turnovers, high rebounds, and Marcus's tremendous speed is the difference.
Randy in trouble, over to Welsh now. Welsh out to Austin, over to Renz. Renz to Randy. Randy now looking, gets himself out of the corner now, up to the top of the key. Randy to Hodges. Hodges looks, he finds Welsh. Welsh getting poked at. He throws one, gets a steal by McClintock. He went over and back. Yep. McClintock stole it away, but he didn't realize that when he was trying to stop the pass to Johnson, both feet were straddling the line. And we're going to go ahead and take a timeout. South Bend St. Joe takes timeout. We'll take a timeout with them. 17-16, Plymouth on top of South Bend St. Joe. FAM 10-15
at the end of the quarter, so Plymouth is yet to score in this quarter and now find themselves down one.
Renz over to Hodges. Hodges now to Randy. Randy looks, over to Hodges. Over to Welsh. Welsh out to Renz, back to Hodges. Hodges looking, over to Randy. Randy a quick three. No good. Rebound McClintock over to Johnson now. Johnson looks in with a leaner, and that one's good.
Marcus Johnson.
We talked about how fast he was.
Yes.
Davis now in the front court, over to Renz, to Hodges. Hodges looking.
Yeah, with Nick with 3 fouls, we really only got one offensive threat out there outside, and that's Randy.
He needs help. Over to Hodges now. Hodges to Renz. Renz looks for Sam. Over to Austin now. Austin back to Randy. Austin now out high. Austin drives in over to Renz. Renz looks, nothing. Looks for Randy now. Randy has the ball up top. Minute to go now in the second quarter. Renz looking. And it's a double dribble. I think some of the quickness of St. Joe is bothering these guys, obviously. But like you said, you've only got one outside scoring threat right now in Randy. Earlier, Austin was being aggressive. Now he's not being so aggressive. He's got to go back to that aggressive nature. Galt in the game now for Plymouth. Richter. Okay, they're going to call a quick foul on Galt now as he fouled Ryan Richter. It'll be his first.
Team 6.
Richter looks for Johnson now. Johnson holds against Austin. It's 19-16, and I'm not sure anybody thought that it would be that low scoring of a contest.
Well, I didn't think we'd go a whole quarter without scoring, but we did, because they're going to go for the last shot here, so we're not going to get another opportunity.
Richter now looking. Richter against Galt. Richter back out to Marshallari. Marshallari looks to drive, almost a turnover. Fans it, drives the lane, nothing. Turnover, and it's going to go over to South Bend St. Joe off a Plymouth player with 11 seconds to go here in the second quarter.
Good help defense all the way around there.
You got to think they're looking for Johnson for the last shot. I mean, at least that's what I think, but I'm wrong. Marshallari into the lane, it's up, and it's good. Austin Hodges now with a reach, no call. Austin drives the lane, down low to Sam Foster. Sam, he went up for the shot, got fouled before the clock went off, so Sam's going to go to the line for two before we get into halftime here. Now that foul is on Marcus Marshallari. Now, is that his third?
It's his second.
Second, okay.
And again, that's the advantage of going inside. You can get another foul on him. Tough free throws with nobody out there to help you. And first one's off.
And the red light glaring at you too.
Right.
That's not a normal free throw shooting scenario.
Right.
Sammy looking to put one in here. In and out. That's going to do it for the first half of play. 21-16. South Bend St. Joe leads the Plymouth Pilgrims here in the first game of the sectional action for middle spots that are going to be open. We've got to hit those middle spots. See if we can't turn this game around early here in the third quarter. Davis now looks over to Niedlinger, back to Davis for a quick three. That one is off, and rebound fought for over to Macellari. Macellari now. There's Johnson, back to 21, who is Richter, and an easy layup for St. Joe. Randy back quick for the Pilgrims. Over to Nick.
Randy misses again, so again, just lack of scoring.
Nick, Austin with a steal on it. The coach got to call timeout. Right. He traveled with the ball. It was a steal by Ryan Richter, sorry folks, and he got so ahead of himself with the travel with the ball. The coach tried to call timeout, but the ref didn't fall for that one.
So 8 turnovers now for St. Joe, 10 for Plymouth.
Randy now over to Nick. Nick back to Randy. Randy over to Nick, over to Jeremy. Jeremy down low to Welsh. Welsh strong up and good.
There we go.
Well, he had 3 guys on it that time. That was just good strength by Ryan Welsh.
Now we got a D up.
Marcus Johnson now works against Hodges. Johnson tries to take Hodges one-on-one. Tries to find McClintock down low and throws the ball away. Plymouth here with a chance to cut into this 23-18 lead. John Scott barking out the calls. Over to Randy now. Randy back up top to Austin. Austin looking over to Nick. Nick had Jeremy in the corner. Back up to Hodges. Hodges to Welsh. To the Renz. Back to Welsh. He goes up
he gets his third.
Goes up for a layup try, and Macellari doesn't like the call, but nonetheless, it's the third foul on Macellari.
Sam got one on it right before half, how critical that was, and then Ryan gets that one. Ryan Welsh will go to the line to shoot 2.
Renz and Welsh point a little, here's the ball to you.
Jeremy knew he couldn't get the shot off. He knew that Welch he could. Ryan misses the free throws. We're struggling here from the line.
But that might be some of the inside play that we talked about there at the half.
Right.
Welch now eyes the second one. Fires, and that one's no good. Rebound McClintock to Ryan Richter. Richter for the Indians. Works on Renz. And a steal by Randy. Randy now looks up court. Randy accelerates over to Hodges. Hodges to Nick. Nick drives back out to Randy. Randy fakes a 3, drives in. He's in the tall trees. He's got Macellari on him and McClintock. Back to Randy now. Randy looking for help. Got to go to the ball. Over to Hodges. Hodges out to Nick. Nick looks back out to Hodges. Good patience by the Pilgrims. Down low to Renz. Over to Welsh. He got fouled. No call. And the rebound fought for, and Welsh got it. Renz got it. He's fighting Macellari for the ball. Great job by Renz.
Jeremy Renz gets the jump ball.
6'7", taking on 5'8". And Jeremy Renz is in there fighting with everything he's worth. Did they call a jump ball?
They called jump ball, okay, so it'll be St. Joe's ball.
St. Joe ball, okay. Great job by Renz. Johnson works against Hodges. Long pass to Frenzik. Frenzik working against Randy. Over to Macellari. Macellari stuck back out to Frenzik. Frenzik. McClintock. McClintock. Hodges almost with a steal. Back over to Frenzik now. Frenzik long pass to Johnson. Johnson. Good baseline move for 2.
Marcus drops the jumper.
Randy now into the front court for the Pilgrims. Fakes the 3. Over to Nick now. Nick dribbles in. Over to Welsh. Welsh up strong.
Foul.
Oh, they got the late foul. Yes, they did.
That's 4. And now it's going to really put a lot of pressure on Marcus Johnson, as his counterpart inside is going to be on the bench with 4 fouls.
I was just about to do my Tony, oh my gosh, when the foul did, the whistle did come late. Welsh goes to the line for the Pilgrims, and he sinks the first one.
We're getting relaxed now at the line. That will definitely put him on the bench for a while. 5:02 left in the third as he goes out.
Luke Lattimore now in for the Indians, and Johnson had a few words with him before he got into the game. Welsh now toes the line, eyes it. Second one, no good. Rebound, fought for, and McClintock comes up with it. Johnson working against Hodges now. Falls back into regular man-to-man. There it is, over to Franzik. Franzik looks. McClintock to Franzik. Over to Johnson. Johnson works against Hodges. Back there lob to Lattimore. And Sam Falstich is going to get called for the foul. 25-19. St. Joe leads with 4:42 to go here in the third quarter.
Sam picks up his first, and we're going to have Luke Lattimore go to the line.
In a game like this, it might come down to free throw shooting.
And Luke is 3 for 3.
Lattimore now for the second attempt here, 26-19, St. Joe. Second one is up and good. Randy now into the front court, over to Hodges. Hodges knocked out of bounds by Ryan Richter.
Into Scott's hands, and Ryan will throw it in.
Thought about shooting it, but Hodges now over to Randy. Randy looks, back to Hodges. Hodges being hassled by Johnson. Back to Hodges. Now to Hodges again. Randy. Over to Hodges. Hodges looks. Got a dribble penetrate there. Over to Nick. Nick through the zone. Oh, he tried to pass it to Walsh. It's going to go out of bounds. Yep. St. Joe way. Might have been a better idea to go up strong with that one.
Yeah, because Ryan could have got the weak side rebound.
Plymouth puts on some full court pressure now. Richter now works against Hodges. Richter baseline. Stolen by Randy. Randy now looks up. They do have a little bit of an advantage. He keeps his head up. Going to pull it out a little bit over to Hodges. Hodges takes a three. Works it down low to Sam. Sam up and good.
Sam Falstich.
Good eyes by Hodges. A good catch and a bucket by Sam. 27-21 St. Joe. Johnson now over to Richter. Richter defends it for three, no good. Rebound, fought for, and pulled down by Hodges. Boy, John Scott did not want Francis to get that open look at three. Nick, over to Randy. Randy drives baseline, no one's there for two.
Randy Davis.
Great job by Randy, nobody was there.
Yeah, Sam screened him off, and he took the baseline.
Nobody stepped up to help out. 27-23 St. Joe. Johnson works against Sam, now against Hodges. Johnson to Richter. Richter up and good. Could have been a foul, an offensive foul, as Welsh hit the floor.
Right.
But they didn't call that, and it's 29-23. We're going to take a timeout. South Bend St. Joe. We're going to take a quick timeout here. You're listening to Program Basketball on the new Chief AM 1050 WT. Now, if you're Coach Karowski, you have to decide when you decide to bring the big man back into the game. They jump out on Hodges now. Hodges in low, stolen now. Johnson with a pass. He's out, and nothing there. There was a call. Did you hear a whistle?
No, I sure did.
Me neither. But they're going to call Austin Hodges on the block. So Marcus Johnson will head to the line, forcing Joe. I literally did not hear a whistle.
What they're trying to do is they're trying to post Randy down low, but they just closed in on Austin, and Austin couldn't get the shot. I couldn't get the pass in there.
Johnson's first attempt off. 29-23, third quarter of play here. First game of the sectionals for the Pilgrims. Johnson now up, and he misses a second. Rebound fought for, and I think you're going to have it will be an offensive foul on number 40 over the back on Robert McClintock. So good job of boxing out that time, as McClintock's called for the foul. Ryan Walsh is back into the game for the Pilgrims. He replaces Sam. Sam, take a seat. go. Randy now. Slowly across the...
10 points for Randy. I think they're going to try to post Randy down low again.
Nick over to Hodges. Hodges looks, finds Randy. Randy, left-hand side, about the three-point line. We need to find some help. Somebody needs to help him over to Renz. Renz back to Neidlinger. Randy, a long three. Got it!
There we go. 26-29, Plymouth down 3.
Got to hunker in on defense here. Johnson works against Hodges. And he's going to get called for the hands there, Larry. As they set a pick for Johnson.
Out of sight, out of bounds, side for St. Joe.
Set a pick for Johnson, and as fast as Hodges is, it's hard for him to keep up with Johnson.
Right.
So the Indians will inbound the ball. McClintock receives. He looks, now to Johnson. 2:02 here to go in the third quarter. 29-26, St. Joe. Down low to McClintock. Good block by Austin Hodges.
Yes.
That ball goes out of bounds.
Yeah, he's 6'6", and he just got blocked by somebody 5'8". He's laughing about that one.
6'6", welcome 5'8". That's right. Good job by Austin Hodges.
Power your way up every time.
Back out to McClintock now. Down low to Lattimore. He travels, no call. Rebound, Randy. He looks up court. Randy over to Nick. Nick drives in, knocked over to Welsh. Welsh to Hodges. Hodges looks, gets it out of the corner. We've got a little bit of contact there, no call. Randy up top now. Randy looks for Renz, over to Hodges. Hodges fakes a three. Over to Nick. Nick drives in, finds Renz. Renz up strong, and he gets a foul. Almost went in, too. Nice job by Renz.
Good pass by Nick. Good job by Jeremy of getting the ball off. Partially blocked, but still a foul.
It seems to me, Larry, that as we move along here in the third quarter, the Plymouth players are starting to look a little more calm on offense. That was a good offensive position there. They had a bunch of nice passes, and they got that.
I think the jitters are gone.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
Ryan hit the last 2 free throws. We'll see if Jeremy can knock these down now.
Jeremy eyes it, lets it fly, no good.
Pick a bad night to struggle from the line.
Riley Jakovic into the game for St. Joe, as well as number 34, Ben Stone. I think this is Stone's first play of the evening here. Lenz now eyes it, lets it fly, and that one's good. 29-27. South Bend St. Joe on top of Plymouth.
Only 2 now as we've cut this lead down from 27 to 16 now.
Here comes a pick. Welsh jumps it. Good hands by Nick. Back to Lattimore, over to Johnson. He's got a three, but he chooses to drive. Lays it up off the glass and
offensive foul. They're going to wave that off.
That's right. That was a great call.
Austin Hodges.
Hodges got underneath there. Didn't move his feet.
Yeah.
And Johnson better be careful though, because he's on the floor cursing right now.
Right.
That's not. You're going to get in trouble doing that.
It's only his first foul, but he is really disappointed in that call. And again, the only thing Austin can do with somebody that athletic is to go up underneath and take the charge.
Good job, Hodgie, getting under there. So 29-27 again. St. Joe on top. Nick to Hodges. Hodges back to Nick. Nick looks over to Jeremy, over to Ryan. Ryan to Randy. I think we're holding for one shot, Larry.
Keep moving the ball.
Randy to Ryan. Ryan to Renz. Renz to Nick. Nick now looks. Here comes Johnson over to Renz. And back to Randy. 36 seconds to go here in the third. Ryan looks. Over to Hodges now. 28 seconds.
St. Joe staying in the zone. Again, if we can ever get ahead, we can get them out of that zone. And they played man-to-man the first quarter, and that's when they really did it to them.
Hodgie holding the ball. We go to 19 seconds now. Hodges looks still holding. 14 seconds to go. Hodges over to Randy. Randy drives, tries to go baseline, no good. Over to Renz. Renz to Hodges with 6 seconds left. Nick looks. Got to look at the clock here, guys. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Randy, a desperation three, no good. And that's going to end the third quarter.
Good defense.
29-27, South Bend St. Joe leads as we head to the fourth quarter. You're listening to Sectional Basketball Chief AM 1050 WTCA. We're back at the WTCA studios filling in tonight. 29-27. Plymouth trails by 2 as we head into the fourth.
Marcus Marcelli back on the floor with his 4 fouls.
Welsh to Randy now. Randy in the air over to Nick. To Randy in the corner. Randy's going to move out of that corner now and get a better look. Tries to drive off to Hodges. Hodges fakes a 3. Back to Randy. Almost stolen twice. Could have been a reach there. Randy looks over to Nick now. In the 2-3 zone, like Larry said earlier, they're not out of that 2-3 zone yet. Hodges looks, and there's Nick in the corner. Nick's not even looking for 3, Larry.
Well, I think we need to run elbow low here and see if we can, what Marcel will do with that foul.
Randy out, over to Nick. Nick drives inside, scoops, and scores.
Nick Nyler comes up with a big bucket, his 4th point.
And as you saw right there, he went at Marshallari, and he didn't come at him, Larry. So.
Right. 29-all, Plymouth ties it up.
And the fans come alive here at the Rock. Johnson works on Hodges, down low to Lattimore. He misses. Wow. Randy with a rebound. Randy now looks up court. He gets it to Hodges. Hodges looks, back to Randy. Randy drives. There's a lot of contact in there. Scoop one up, no good. Rebound Marcellari, and he got to watch those elbows, Larry.
Yeah, he tried to get his 5th. Randy went right at Marcellari, but they didn't call it.
Marcellari now bowling the China shop over to Johnson. Johnson will take the 3, and that's good.
Big shot there. Marcus Johnson puts 3 on the board, and St. Joe back on top.
32-29 to Hodges now. Hodgie look for Welsh. Doesn't see it. Hodgie pulls it back out now. In that 2-3 zone. Over to Nick. Nick eyes the 3, doesn't take it. Over to Randy. Randy on the left-hand side. Looks. Someone's got to move to the ball. Here comes Welsh. Over to Neidlinger. Neidlinger drives in. Down to Renz. Renz can't find anybody. Needs some help. Calls a timeout.
Yep. He's fall out of bounds. Had enough presence of mind to call a timeout. Do a 30.
We're going to go to Cam now as he's got another one of the student.
And that ball was all the way in and rolled out.
Plymouth now works to get the ball inbound. Renz looks, finds Randy, and it's stolen by Johnson.
Yeah,
Johnson on a breakaway, and he scores 2.
Big turnaround there.
Hodges now all across the court to Randy. Randy back to Hodges. Hodges looks.
See, we could never get ahead, so we could never get him out of this zone.
Nick, attempted steal by 21 Ryan Richter, knocked it out of bounds. It's going to be Plymouth ball. Sam Falstich in the game now for the programs. He replaces Renz. So Jeremy Renz will have a seat. Sam's back in the ball game. Randy on the right-hand side tries to drive, pushed but no call. Over to Nick. Nick to Welsh, and Welsh. Got to think here, maybe we want to go to either Sam or Ryan to see if we can get Montellaro his 5th. Hodges now over to Nick. Nick looks, back to Hodgie. Hodgie guarded by Johnson. Johnson almost stole the ball. Good job by Hodgie to get the ball back. Randy, he drives the lane. He scoops. He scores.
Yeah, Randy Davis.
Over 3 trees was Randy Davis, and he threw it up and in. 34-31. South Bend St. Joe on top.
We're back within 3.
Johnson now. Over to Franzik. Franzik works. He looks for Marcus Marcellari. Marcellari now looks to drive. He spins. He finds, Richter, and that's an easy 2. Somebody lost their assignment there. Randy now has the ball for the programs over to Hodges. Hodges looks. Sam flashes. And again, Hodges works it out to Randy. Randy to Ryan Welch. Welch to Randy. Randy for 3. He got it.
Yes, Randy Davis.
36-34. Plymouth trails South Bend St. Joe.
And stop the clock so that we can get a shoe tied by one of the St. Joe players.
Renzi heads back into the game now for the programs. He replaces Sam. 36-34 here in the fourth, 4:19 to go.
Plymouth trying to press.
Little full court pressure now, Randy. Here comes Hodges. Hodges and Randy have him trapped. Here they have him trapped, and it should be a jump ball.
They had the wrong guy with the ball. Marcus did not have the ball. And it still stays St. Joe. We'll get the next one, but that was Ryan Richter that got tied up.
Good job by Haji and by Davis that time. Well, they got the ball out pretty quickly. I thought that could have been a clean steal, but nonetheless, it's a jump ball call. Franzik now works against Randy. Franzik down to Machalari. Machalari, and offensive foul! Offensive foul!
Ryan Welch takes the charge.
Good job, Ryan Welch. That is a huge call right there.
Well, Ryan knew he was going to do it. He makes that spin move all the time, has for the last 3 years. Coaches work on it. That was a spin move right into Welch, and Marcellus is out of the game. 5 fouls.
3:54 to go here in the fourth quarter. Marcus Machalari fouls out. 36-34. Plymouth trails by 2, but that's a big one right there. And Kurowski's going to use all of his time, I think, to yell at the referees.
Luke Latimer is going to come in.
Because he is all over the referee that made that call, Larry.
Yep.
And Luke Latimer comes back into the contest now for St. Joe.
2-point game.
Hodges now comes across court to Nick. Nick to Hodges. Hodges to Randy. Randy looks, he's double teamed over to Sam. Over to Hodges. Back to Randy. Sam with a good put. Over to Hodges. Hodges for 3. No. Rebound out to Johnson now. Johnson looks to run it. He's one-on-one against Randy. Here he goes into the lane. We're going to have a foul called on the floor.
Team's fourth, out of bounds, St. Joe.
And if that foul isn't called, Larry, that could have been an offensive foul on Johnson as Hodgie slid right there in the nick of time.
Yeah, also Hodges missed everything there, and we just weren't ready for that kind of rebound.
No. Ryan Richter now to inbound for St. Joe. Johnson now drives baseline, works against Nick. Up, no good. Rebound Johnson, he gets his own board. And that's not going to count as it banks in way after the whistle. 52.
Ryan Welch picks up the foul.
Okay.
Big offensive rebound there. He is such an athlete.
He can jump out of the gym as well as being fast. And to Richter for the layup, and it scores. Richter's been very aggressive here in the second half, and it's paid off for St. Joe. Randy now to Hodges. Hodgie, he's got Welch in the post. He doesn't see it, though. He's bothered by Johnson. Over to Nick. A lot of contact, no calls here. Ryan flashes to the middle. Sam was open, didn't see him. Over to Nick. Nick has to be strong. He gets the ball stolen by Ryan Richter. Richter to Johnson now, and Hodges is going to pick Johnson up.
Big turnover there by Plymouth.
They're going to need to come out.
Right.
I think they wanted to come out and double Johnson. Johnson drives, looks for McClintock. And they're going to have a timeout. South Bend St. Joe, they're going to take a full timeout. Now we'll go headed over to Cam Robertson. Cam.
Thanks, guys. St. Joe has become quite a student rival these days. If you were last year, you might remember tensions between the two students.
Right in front of the St. Joe bench. I think the referee told everybody to sit down. That might have been a turnover, but go ahead and have it. Now we're going to go to Marcus Johnson. Johnson works against Haji. Johnson one-on-one. Hodges playing good defense. Stepping up with Randy. Short jumper by Franzik. That's no good. Rebound Randy. Randy looks to run up court. He's got some numbers. Pulls it back a little bit. He drives. He shoots. No foul and no score. It's rebounded by Richter. Richter the other way to Johnson. Johnson right over to Richter. Richter now. Got a contact on that last drive by Randy.
He tried to get to the hole. Couldn't do it.
Now they go all over Richter, down low to Franzik. Franzik missed the layup. Johnson with the rebound. He shoots. He scores. 4 40-34. St. Joe on top with a minute 38 to go. Randy to Nick. Nick back to Randy. Randy, a long three. In and out, no good. Nick with the rebound. Back out to Hodges, back to Randy. Randy now looks. He's going to drive, and he's fouled on the floor. So the layup will not count.
I've got Randy at the line with the clock stopped. Put it down 6.
We've got a 1-on-1 situation here with Randy going to the free throw line. 40-34, minute 25 to go here in the fourth. Jeremy Wren's back into the game for the Pilgrims. Falstidge, Welch, Davis, Wren's, Neidlinger for the Pilgrims. First one's up and good. Johnson.
19 points for Randy at this juncture. We're down 5 with a minute 25 left. This can cut it to 4.
This is the rebound by Richter. I'm having trouble with Richter tonight, Larry. Over to McClintock. McClintock to Johnson. Down low to Francis. Good block by Nick Neidlinger. Dug out by Randy. And here we go the other end for the Pilgrims. Good job, Nick. Randy looks for Nick. Nick's got it. Over to Randy. Randy wants Welch in the post. Welch comes out. Looks to set a screen. Randy drives. He's getting picked at. No call. He's got somebody behind him. There he goes. Welch get the ball back to Randy. Randy tries to move. Everybody over to Nick. Nick, could have been a foul there. No call. Randy, long three from way downtown. No good. Rebound fought for. Pulled out by Nick. Nick drives. He shoots. He scores. And a foul. Great job by Nick Neidlinger.
Knows his outside shot's not there, so he's trying to go for the inside shot. 3-point game.
39 and a half seconds left here in the fourth. It's a 3-point game, 40-37. Nick Neidlinger heads to the line to cut this game to 2. My, what a drive. Nick now eyes it, lets it fly, and that one's good. 40-38. John Scott's going to take a timeout for the Pilgrims. We're going to take a 30-second timeout as well. You're listening to the new Chief AM 1050 WTCA. Just 30, that's it. Everybody gets hands up, although Nick Neidlinger's all over Johnson. And almost a good steal by Nick as he goes out of bounds. Nice job. Good quick hands by Nick. Now one thing you got to watch is you got to watch somebody streaking long, Larry. Johnson now over to McClintock. McClintock works against Randy. Randy fouls. 32.2 left here.
So that's not a shooting foul. That's why we wanted to get that foul out of the road. And Randy only had 1, so that only gives him 2.
So we got to get one more to get into the bonus here. Again, you got to watch the streaker, Larry. Don't leave the basket wide open. Keep an eye on somebody streaking, and there's a couple of them. Ball comes in down to Johnson. Now Johnson. Randy over to Johnson. Almost a steal, and it down low, and no good. Could have turned out to be really bad, but 33 Luke Lattimore was able to pick up a loose ball and almost got a layup. There's a foul call.
Yeah, Marcus Johnson got caught up in the air. He got bailed out as he found one of his players open, that being Luke Lattimore. Luke is 4 for 4 from at the line so far.
23, about 23 and a half seconds, 23.4 seconds left here. Lattimore, we'll see what kind of ice he's got in his veins. First one's up and good.
5 for 5.
41-38. St. Joe on top. Three-point game here at the Rock.
Big one here is going to make it 2 possessions.
Lattimore fires it up, and it's good. 4-point game now. Hodges over to Randy. Randy wants to drive, and he does. He gets a good drive and a foul call on number 21, Ryan Richter.
And put Randy at the line with the clock stopped.
One would argue, Larry, that call could have been made all night long.
Yeah.
Randy heads to the line, and then the perfect example of what we talk about all the time, Larry. No time ticking off the clock here and a chance to get some points. 2 big free throws here for Randy. First one's up and good. 42-39. St. Joe on top, 19.1 seconds to go. Randy again, eyes and flies. That one doesn't go good, but Randy gets his own rebound. Davis now tries to drive baseline, finds Nick for three. Yeah! Nick Neidlinger ties the ball game with 10 seconds to go. 42-42, Marcus Johnson into the front court for St. Joe. He's working against Welsh, puts up a shot, no good. Rebound, Randy, 1 second to go. Here's a half-court shot. Almost, no overtime. And we are headed to overtime. Nick Neidlinger knocks down a big three with 5 seconds to go. 42-42. We're heading to overtime here on the new Chief AM 1050 WTCA. Will not be a factor here in overtime. Nick Neidlinger and Robert McClintock set to jump here as we're getting overtime underway. Referee gets ready to let the ball fly. Tip controlled by Renz. Renz to Randy now. Whole new ball game, 4 minutes put on the clock for overtime. Renz over to Nick, Nick to Ryan. Ryan to Randy. Randy back to Ryan. Over to Nick with the steal attempt. Pardon me, Renz the steal attempt. Back to Nick. Over to Renz. Back to Randy. Johnson will gamble there, so that may be something we can use to our advantage. Nick working against Johnson. Over to Renz. Good patience by the Pilgrims. Out to Welch to Randy. Randy, a double team comes his way. He fights it off. And Welch comes out top for the pressure release, and there it is. Welch to Renz.
Looks for Plymouth to draw him out high.
Over to Nick. He's trapped. Over to Welch.
And then see Randy drive one-on-one. If they can get the post players to come up a little bit more.
1 minute off the clock here at overtime. And Randy out top high. Randy, no count, so Randy's just going to hold it. Now the count starts. Over to Ryan. Ryan to Nick.
St. Joe switches man-to-man.
To Renz. Welch is open. Now to Welch to Randy. Randy thought about driving, pulled it out. Randy's double team. Someone's got to come to the ball. Randy looks to Welch. To Renz he goes. Back to Nick. Nick comes up. He'll hold the ball. There's no count.
St. Joe falls back.
He'll hold the count. Over to Hodges.
They fall back in their zone.
Hodges calls for Renz. Renz up. Now to Welch. Welch looks. He needs some help. Here comes Randy. Randy now.
Drive. There he goes.
He works against 21. In for the drive. Reverse layup. And that's going to be a foul called.
Yep, we drew him out, and St. Joe's got a player down. McClintock twists an ankle there, and he's going to have to come out.
Well, Ryan Richter might be the best defender on St. Joe, but he can't hold Randy when he gets around the corner like that, and they had to foul.
Randy was just waiting for the opportunity when they pulled him out high, and there was no help underneath, so he took it to the hole.
He waited, and boy, he drove, and now we're having some problems here. We did have an injury, as Larry said.
And Stone comes in for St. Joe, his first appearance.
And Stone was in the ballgame a little bit earlier.
Randy's missed 2 free throws tonight, usually almost perfect at the line.
They were able to almost take 2 minutes off the clock, Larry, so there's only 2:11 left here in OT. First shot by Randy hits the bottom of the net. That's good.
21 points for Randy.
That's one thing about Plymouth, how they can be so patient and not get in a hurry on that offensive set like they just did. Randy now. Second one off. A rebound comes down to Richter.
Missed another one.
Marcus Johnson now in the front court for St. Joe. Johnson works against Hodges, thinks about driving, stops. Over to Franzik. Franzik has been kind of quiet tonight. Works against Renz. Franzik. Over to Johnson. Good hands by Nick. That one goes out of bounds.
Yep. Minute 49 left. Plymouth up 1.
Here we go. Ryan Richter now takes the ball out of bounds for St. Joe. Looks for Johnson, and you got to think that's where they want the ball in his hands, Tom.
Right, they definitely want it in his hands.
Johnson now against Welsh. Keep your feet, Welsh.
Short, way short.
Shoots is way short. The ball's going to go out of bounds. It's going to go Plymouth way.
Randy blocked him out, so did Renz, so he couldn't get to it. And the St. Joe people wanted a foul, but didn't get it. And now Plymouth with a 1-point lead.
An air ball shot just enough to bother Johnson.
That's a force him to go man-to-man, as they are in man-to-man.
Randy works against Richter now. Randy surveys the court, looks for Nick. Randy's going to drive again. He gets past Richter. Rips, finds Hodge in the corner. Back to Randy. Randy stuck in the corner to Hodges. Hodges out to Renz. Renz over to Welsh. Welsh back to Nick. Nick now to Randy. Randy. Stone with a foul. No call. Here comes the double team on Randy. Here Randy goes. Got to move to the ball though, guys. Welch rolls right there. He got an open layup.
Right. But what they're trying to do is get Randy the ball at the free throw line, and they made it happen. 2 shots, double bonus for St. Joe, so Randy will have 2.
Maybe it's the double bonus. Now, is that his fifth? That is his fifth, right?
It is his fifth.
So we're losing Lattimore, too. Luke Lattimore now.
Jackowick is going to come in for St. Joe.
Riley Jackowick was in the game a little bit earlier as well. Hasn't played much tonight, though.
Nope. It's time for Randy to put 2 down here. Give us a 3-point lead. 9 seconds left.
Randy now. Doesn't move off that line, does he? He stays right up there, waits for that ball. First one, up and good. 44-42.
2-point lead right now for Plymouth. Again, this is huge because this could make a 3-point lead so that they can't beat us with a 3.
59 seconds to go here in overtime. Randy's second one up and good. 45-42 Plymouth.
3-point lead, 50 seconds left.
And the fans come to their feet here at the Rock. Marcus Johnson works against Hodges. Looks over to Jackowick now. Looks against Renz.
Traveled. Oh, no call, boy. He moved both feet.
Yes, he did. He is stuck over to Stone. Stone to Jackowick. Jackowick now to Johnson.
Timeout. St. Joe was really in trouble there. They were totally out of sync. Almost turned it over.
Well, you got a couple guys on the floor right now for St. Joe, Jackowick and Stone, but they haven't been in the game much. And Austin needs to get up a little. Oh, he goes, okay, he's going to find Johnson now. South Bend St. Joe looks to inbound the ball. 36 seconds to go here in overtime.
They're trying to make Marcus spend some minutes with the good one.
45-42 Plymouth. Jackowick for
way off.
No, good. Nick Neidlinger. Nick looks up. Jeremy Renz is wide open. They're going to give it to Randy and slow the ball down. 19 seconds.
Randy's fouled.
Randy's fouled.
Nice job by Renz. No, that was a good job by Renz.
That was a great job.
I mean, Welch getting it to Randy. Randy's been all over the United States making pressure free throws in AAU games his whole life. So why not get it? They were coming after Ryan. Ryan got it to Randy. This obviously, if he hits these, puts it into 2-possession game.
Well, I think 2 as the first one goes up, and then I think Welchie looked to see who was streaking to see if it was Randy. It was Renz. He threw it back.
46-42. Plymouth on top now by 4. 2 possessions. Randy's next free throw is on the way, and boom.
47-42, Plymouth on top. Johnson over. Ball out of bounds. Plymouth ball.
Plymouth ball, 16.3 seconds left, 47-42. Plymouth with the lead and the ball.
Boy, Johnson makes an unforced error.
Yep.
I got to think they're going to go back. They're going to go back to the fouling technique here and send Randy back to the free throw line. But Nick with a streaker. It's up and good. Nick Neidlinger. An easy 2-point bucket there as nobody was watching him. They were all watching Randy. 6 seconds to go. Johnson with an easy layup. He misses it. No good. On to Randy. 2 seconds. 1 second. And Plymouth wins in overtime. 49-42 over South Bend St. Joe. They win the first game of our sectional action. And Plymouth will advance tomorrow night to face the Rochester Zebras. Welcome into the Van Vactor Construction post-game show. Van Vactor Construction, supporting our future. That's what we're all about. We're going to take a quick break, then it's back to the Rock with the victorious programs. You're listening to the new Chief AM 1050 WTCA.
Looking to start. Well, the Stanley
Give me 2 minutes.